So this is like a different setting. I am still in school, everyone has already went home, and I'm just here doing my work alone. I love the peace and quiet, and I love the aircon, free aircon. Today I'm going to teach you how to personalize your brand. The gist of this lesson is basically, if your company is a human being, a personified individual, how does your brand talk? How do they transfer messages to your target audience in a way that your target audience appreciates? And it is like a more tangible and more easier way to communicate if you talk in your target audience's language. And so we need to personify your company into what your target audience is. I've been a fan of Yo Santosa's work. She is a branding expert. She is the CEO and founder of Concrete, which is a branding firm in Los Angeles. In one of her talks from, I think, AIGA, she mentions about how she manages to find personality in companies that communicating in the most boring way possible, like very traditional ways of communicating a message, like do not park here, or please return our trays, thank you, or like having here or take away. It's just so boring and it's just monotone. There's no personality in it. There's nothing in it. It is so vanilla. We hear it every day. There is nothing special about it that we want to hear over and over again, because we already hear it over and over again. We want something new. We want something spicy. We want a personality inside the brand message. It can be road signs, it can be wayfinders, it can be the toilet signs in your restaurants. Like, okay, let's say for example, if your business is a restaurant, it can be anything that communicates a message, anything that you want to tell to your target audience in terms that they appreciate. One example that I like about how she branded Pinkberry is the way she interprets how Pinkberry will say, we are open 9 to 5. Instead of saying we are open 9 to 5, she says swirling daily. And the word swirling is key. You need to find a word, like a verb, that describes what your company does. In this case, Pinkberry swirls, because that is the motion that the yogurt is manifested into, a swirl. And so that is how they do their messaging. Anything that they do, swirling. We are swirlers. Instead of employees, they call them swirlers. Instead of working, they say we are swirling daily. How interesting is that? How personified and how human is that? Just from language alone, since we are the only animal that communicates with this thing called a language, without this thing called our mouths, it is unique to us. Anything that speaks, we subconsciously register as that thing is human. There's one example that I come up with recently. I think I was ordering like a Happy Meal for my nephew, and then they were like, having here or takeaway. It's like even the person is saying it like begrudgingly, like I hate my job. Like having here or takeaway. Sounds familiar? You hear that every day, right? Instead of saying having here or takeaway, I picture like a very quirky and witty brand, like a really hipsterish chicken bistro. And instead of saying having here or takeaway, they say you want to eat with us or taking us home. And that is different, and that is better, because in the sentence itself, you are inviting the customer to the company's home, which is the restaurant. Instead of having here, it's just two words that don't even mean anything. It's just bland and boring, really vanilla. We tend to forget about it. It's not memorable at all. Having here, you want to eat with us? That is more inviting, that is more human, that is what we expect to hear from our friends. And from that psychology alone, when we hear that from a corporation, people will think that your brand is unique. Your brand speaks humanly. I just love looking at boring signage and revolutionizing the language that they use. Another example that I came up with is, instead of saying no smoking in a restaurant, everywhere in every restaurant there's always a no smoking sign. It's very vigorous, it's very like, don't smoke. Instead of saying that, why not say our food doesn't go very well with nicotine? And like, when you're in school, they always have the sign of do not run in the hallways. Our floors love your light footsteps, so please don't run. And you are giving an inanimate object a voice, like something for them to speak for. You are speaking for the inanimate object, like it's a helpless human being. So that is basically it. That is how you personify a brand. The gist is taking everything that is boring and traditional and just robotic in tone of voice and personify it. Make it sound like something a real human would say. And the other thing that I want you to take note of is that you need to do this because people will understand when you speak their language. So if you want to attract a target audience, you have to know how they speak so that you can mirror how they speak to attract them. My name is Rybrand, and you're watching Rebrand.